There's a lot to talk about, and I don't know where to start. I think I'll start. Did you hear what happened to me yesterday, on Friday?
Yes.
Everybody heard about it?
Yes.
Oh, who didn't hear? Oh, you didn't hear? So amazing. Really amazing. So, long story short, I want you to know first that our battle is a spiritual battle. It's never, ever, 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 at any time, physical. It's not about your color. It's not about male or female. It's about good versus evil, right versus wrong. And then when you can see that, then you can deal with life accordingly. All right? So I want you to, ask God to really let you start to see things in a spiritual way with your inner eyes, the way that we used to see things prior to the fall, before we fell away into the fallen state. As children, we were able to see. So after my show on Friday, I had a 10 a.m. radio interview to do, and normally I go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So this interview I was able to do by phone, my cell phone. So I did what I've been doing for years. I rushed to the gym, went in and put on my workout clothes, and I went into one of the offices there to do the quick interview, about 10 or 15 minutes at best. So I go in there into this office, and it was my friend Bill Cunningham's show out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And so they call me, I'm on the phone, and my cell phone is dropping. So he said, can you go to another room? He asked me to go to another room. And normally I go into whatever I can find over there, a little quiet space where I can't hear all the noise. And this time I went into a utility room, I think. That's what it was. And so I saw this empty room. I just stepped in there, and I'm on the phone doing this interview. And then in a few minutes, my phone almost dropped again. And so the engineer on Bill's show said, don't move. You're coming in clear. Stay still. Do not move. And so I'm standing there, and this guy that worked there came in. I guess I was speaking kind of loud. He like, you got to come out of here. You can't stay there. And I said, oh, okay. I'm sitting here the whole I'm doing a radio interview, just 1 minute. And so he stayed quiet for a minute, and then he said, you got to go. I'm doing the interview, man, be quiet. And then he stood there for a minute, and then next thing I knew, he went and got somebody who said that they were the manager, some guy by the name of Scott. And Scott was going off. You gotta go now. I'm like, hold on, man, I'm on the phone. And he's like, no, you gotta go. And so I said, all right. So I started to walk out of the closet room, and the interview dropped again. It dropped. At least I thought it had dropped. And so these two guys yelling at me, just going off. And it was so ridiculous that I thought it was almost like a joke, because there was nothing really happening. So I said to the guy, I'm not going to steal anything. I'm just doing an interview. He's like, I don't care. That doesn't matter. Just carrying on, right? And so he got all up in my face. He was like, so I'm walking out of the utility room back out into the lobby area. And I said, so the guy was like in my face, you got to leave and leave now. And don't come back. You got to leave. We're going to cancel your membership and everything. I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? And so it still seemed like a movie. It doesn't seem real, because it was not that serious. And so I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And like, you got to go. And so I said, I got my stuff here. I got my stuff. Go get your stuff, right? And so I went into the locker room, got my stuff, and I came back, and then I called Ermias to let him know what was going on, my PR guy. And while I'm doing that, I told the guy told the manager told the other guy to go call the cops or something like that, right? And so I said, go call the cops. I don't care. And then when the guy walked away, he said, you say that there's no racism for blacks and Hispanic. There is racism. You're a Trump supporter. And then I said, oh, that's what this is all about? He was mad at me because of being a Trump supporter. And because it was extreme the way they were handling it. And so he was in my face, and finally I said, get the F out of my face. You know what F is?
Mm-hmm. It's extreme.
But I said the word, the real word. And then he said, you shouldn't talk to employees like that, some stupid stuff. I said, all right, I'm sorry. And so finally I left. They had me to leave, right? And so I was harassed, I was bullied, and I was, what else was I? What? Attacked.
Did you cry?
I wanted my mama. All because of my support for Trump. And so everybody at the gym know I support Trump. I wear it on my sleeve. Even when I go upstairs to the workout area and I see my friends up there, they say, hey, Jesse, how you doing? I said, making America great again. I do the bump fist with them, right? One guy told me anytime he wanted to know how Trump is doing, he just asked me. He doesn't turn the TV on. So I'm so open about it. And over the years, the last year or so, however long, when Trump started running and stuff, people at the gym were telling me I need to be quiet because this is a liberal gym, and you're not allowed to say that because they don't like it around there, right? But I refuse to let, we're in America, and we have the right to say what we want to say. The children of the lie say everything and do everything, and so I refuse to give into that. It doesn't make sense to me to give into that. I don't know how to give into that. Even when I was a kid, I used to just speak up. And I remember once my aunt told me, boy, your mouth gonna get you in trouble one day. I had no idea what she meant at the time, but it's true. And so I don't know what's gonna happen from this point forward, but I'm gonna see. But this is what we're having to deal with. That's why I want you to know too that it's a battle between good and evil, right versus wrong. And if you know that, this thing came out of nowhere. I've been doing interviews in that gym for years, even when it was owned by Sports Club LA. I've never had any problem. When someone walked in and see me on the phone, they just walk back out. Never any problem. But it was all about Trump. I said, oh, so that's what this is all about. So it was extreme. And so when you run into this stuff, whether it's standing for righteousness, standing for the unborn child, standing up for whatever, just don't take it personally. It's so much fun. It's really so much fun. When you don't have that anger inside of you and you have to deal with evil, it's a totally different thing. Because it doesn't get inside of you, it doesn't make you angry because the spirit of anger is gone. And so whether they come at a surprise or you see it coming, it will not get you at all. That's why I want you to overcome the spirit of anger, because in that spirit, there's fear, doubt, worry, insecurity. You need the world to validate you. You're afraid to stand up because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, when you have that anger. And you have no love. You literally have no love. Anyone who has anger has no love. They have fear, they have doubt, they have worries, they have insecurities and things like that. And they're looking for body-to-body love. Love me and I'll love you, and blah, blah, blah. That's why God said, overcome the world. You got to overcome the world, all right? But it was so much fun. It was surprising, and it happened for a reason. So I'm waiting to see what the reason is. Well, the reason is because of my support for President Trump. And I don't hide it. I do not hide it. Even some of the workers, when no one is looking, they totally agree with me about the president. But if someone's looking, they act like they don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, weren't we just talking a minute ago? But that's what's happening with that. Any question about that? Yes, sir.
Jesse, you say you patronized that gym for years, and whatever you had to do, you at least try to act a manner that doesn't affect the business of the gym. So So what? I was always wondering. What made him outside the fact that you supported
Boy,
Trump.
get to the question.
Outside the fact you supported Trump, you didn't. What did you do? Do that possibly got mad because
It was nothing. It was just they are angry at anyone who support Donald Trump. That's all it is. It's anger. And when you're angry, you can't see what you're doing. If this guy didn't have the anger, he would never have done me that way. Because that's bad for the gym. And it wasn't bad for me. It's bad for the gym. So they're just mad. That's why I tell you to always get past the anger. You got to get over that spirit of anger. It's so amazing to live a life free of anger. I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing. Who knows what I'm talking about? Only 3. Can I get a 4? You don't have anger, Raymond?
I think you know the answer to that.
And what is the anger? I mean, what is the answer? No, you don't need the mic. Just give the mic back. Do you have anger?
If I did not have anger, I wouldn't be here.
Do you have anger?
I think I answered that question.
No, do you have anger? Yes or no? Any day now. We only on for an hour here. Yes or no? You don't need the mic. Give the mic back to him. Give him the mic back. Give him the mic back. Take the mic.
No.
Take the mic.
I have anger.
You do have anger.
Yeah.
So why did you raise your hand when I asked?
I didn't understand. I didn't understand the question. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Whew. So you don't have any anger in the blue shirt?
I would say that if I did, it comes up so quickly, I demolish it with love. I just say, oh, no, that's not something that's I am, and I immediately try to recognize it and put it aside and try to find the solution to get rid of it as quickly as possible.
So do you have anger?
Right now, no.
Right now?
Right now, just right now.
So if someone can't make you mad or overreact, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
Right.
Yeah.
So you still have it. So you do have it. It's just that I'm not, or no one is making you angry right now.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So I want you to know that God will take it away from you because it's a spirit that's made a home in you, and it's not you. And God will take it away where it wouldn't even be a part of your nature. It wouldn't be a part of anything. So whatever come at you, you're able to just overcome and not allow it to overtake you. Do you believe that it could be gone completely?
Yeah, I do. That's why I believe it's gone away so much already. I think it's almost there. I'm pretty sure that it will be there too.
Wrong thinking.
Okay.
You don't want to think that way because that's your father, the devil, got you thinking that way.
Okay.
Anyone who has any iota, tip bit, just a little bit, minute, if you have at all, you have anger because it's Satan's nature. And so that's why God said before you enter into the kingdom of heaven within, you must forgive. He's not going to let you in until you can repent, until you can forgive. So don't let Satan make you think, oh, you're almost there. You almost got it. He's lying to you. You must be born again. And what that means is you return to your original nature that you had prior to the fall. You know, when you start being angry at your parents or whatever caused you that. So don't be deceived. If you have it at all, you have it.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I want you to know that because he tricked a lot of people like that. You know, he said, well, you're almost there.
Oh, he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a great deceiver. So when he says you're almost there, you're like, where's almost there, you know? There's no place called Almost There. That's a movie. So don't fall for it. Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
This your first time here?
Yes. Yes.
How did you hear about us?
Oh, my friend Dathan.
Oh, good. And so how are you feeling already about being here?
I love it.
Oh, okay. Did he tell you how to overcome it completely?
Over anger?
Yeah. Your friend Dathan.
He's shared a lot. So like I said, that's why I feel like it's possible for sure.
To overcome it?
Oh, yes.
It is possible.
Yeah.
That's right. It's definitely possible. God is in the business of overcoming the impossible things. So it can happen to you. And did he tell you what to do to get over it? Well, is he a good witness as to what to do to get over it?
He's pretty good.
So what did he tell you to overcome it completely?
Well, I mean, from what I'm also getting from you is just true faith.
Through what?
Faith.
That's what he told you?
Well, no, what Dathan's told me, I mean, we've talked so much that I can't really summarize any words.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you tell him how to overcome it? And the reason I'm asking because we all have to be witnesses out in the world.
No.
Did you tell him how to overcome it?
No.
Oh, you did not? Oh, okay.
No, I'm being a really good witness.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Oh, you still have anger?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no wonder.
Yeah.
All right.
I almost flipped that. I almost flipped that switch, but I was like, let me hold on for a little bit.
All right. Well, I'll tell you before we leave today. Do you want to know how to completely overcome it? In the blue shirt.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay. Don't let me leave this room before telling you. All right?
Okay.
So, yes, James?
Ex Nihilo Comes Nothing asks online, Jesse, honest question. If you have overcome anger, why did you say, get the F out of my face?
That's my authority word, my manly word. And one thing I want people to know, just because when you overcome anger, that doesn't mean you're not going to be of authority. It's not going to mean that you're not going to use certain words. Anger is not overcoming anger is not a weakness, it's a strength. Yes. And a lot of people think that when you overcome anger, you would never use a word like that, right? I don't plan to use it, but I need to use some on Satan. And I didn't think to say, get out of the way, Jesus, in the name of Jesus or something. But a lot of people have a misunderstanding about that. They think you become a little meek and humble person. That's not the way it works. That's an illusion from your father, the devil. And I don't care that people think that I do care. I wish you didn't think that way. But when you are free, you have the authority of God working through you. You have greater is he that's in us than he that's in the world. But when you have anger, Satan has no authority. He's weak. He has no power. He's a liar. He is a deceiver. That's why the children of God should not be afraid of the children of Satan. If they can't intimidate you, if they can't call your name to control you, they have no authority over you at all. If you notice with the children of Satan, whenever they, even in relationships, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, parents and children, whatever it might be, whenever they want to control you, they have to make you feel bad or make you feel good. I like using the analogy when I used to date a lot. Whenever my girlfriend would want something from me, they would try to make me feel good. Oh, Jesse, you're so nice. You know, like you're a good old country boy. You're made for a good husband. You know what I mean? And then as soon I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's good. And then they say, well, can you let me have some money or something? I'm just using the money thing because everybody knows right away I'm not giving them money, right? And then I say no to them, then they attack. You're no good. You're supposed to be a Christian. You're this, and now they got you mad. And once they get you mad, they can control you and get what they want. But that's why God said you got to overcome the world. Overcome emotions. Emotions are for people who live in a fallen state. We walk by the light. We walk by faith. We walk by logic. We walk by common sense, not by emotions. If you're truly children of God. All right? So, whatever. Yes?
A couple more questions. Country Comfort is asking, and in case people missed it, why didn't you just leave the room?
I was doing an interview. And had I walked away, my phone would have dropped. So I've been doing it at the gym for years. So that's why.
And then Joshua Rodriguez is asking, how do you stay away from coming back to your original state of anger?
Oh, that's a good question. How do you stay away from returning to your original state of anger? Isn't that a good question? Who want to answer that? Raymond, you want to answer that? No, I'm kidding. Anybody want to answer? I guess everybody here have anger except one or two people, right? Who don't have anger? Only. Did you raise your hand? I did. I'm kidding. How do you stay away from your original state of anger? How do you not come back to that? That's an excellent question.
I always see it coming.
You always see the anger coming.
I always see the agitation
Okay.
before the anger, and so I know this is another trick.
All right. And what do you say to that question? How do you stay, yes, because you say you don't have any anger, right?
Right.
So how do you stay away from returning to that?
When it's offered to me, I don't receive it.
When the anger is offered, you don't give into it?
Correct. I don't
It-
take it.
Oh, okay. And to add to that, right here. You want to, so you have no anger, right? No anger. Oh, okay. How do you stay away from returning to that anger?
I don't think it's possible. If you're saved and you've been brought into the kingdom of God, if you fall away, then you return to that fallen state. But if you're in Christ, I don't see how you can return to what you were.
That's right.
It's impossible.
Once the spirit has been taken away from you, it's gone. There's no return. Because you're now back at home with your Father, you're back into your original nature, you're back in full love with your Father, you have perfect peace, and you can see that it was the spirit that's been taken away. So, and now that you can see, you see people differently. You see the thing that's working through them, and that is not them, and so you don't take it personally. You have compassion for them. It's not, you know that they can't help it. You stand up to them, you deal with them, but you know they can't help it, so you never judge. You stop judging. You stop making decisions and all that kind of stuff. So once it's gone, it's gone. And then God draws you into the kingdom of heaven, that's it. You're back at home. And salvation is about returning to the Father. It's about returning home. That's a really good question. So once it's gone, I never even think about anger anymore. And I used to be very emotional. I know what it's like to have anger and to be emotional and to have fear and to have doubt and to have worries. I know what that's like. I don't think about those things anymore. It's like this way is the right way. Like when you have anger, people think that's the right way. It's not, but that's what they think. So once it's gone, it's gone. Isn't that nice? That is so nice. It's a perfect way of living. And now you start to grow. And when you're dealing with situations, you're overcoming, you're growing, you're becoming, it's like a little baby. You return home as a baby, then you start to grow along with your Father. Isn't that something? Yeah. One more, and then I'll come here.
Oh, I have three more.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyways, Jason Sherwood is saying, my 5-year-old wants to ask Jesse, how does God change my heart?
A 5-year-old?
Yeah.
A 5-year-old heart should be all right anyway. I don't know what, the only thing I would say to a 5-year-old, you have to forgive your father and mother for what they've done to you. Don't be angry at your father and mother, because children don't have that spirit unless they've been traumatized by a parent or someone. Children are innocent. They don't take things personally. Until they are traumatized, they forgive right away. They don't hold grudges. They speak up until they've been traumatized. So if the 5-year-old is asking that, he's mad at either his father, mother, or the father or the mother. And so this is Jason asking this? Mm-hmm. So Jason, you need to tell your child to forgive you and the mother. Don't be mad at them. Just tell them don't be angry. And he can get it back.
Ex nihilo comes nothing asks, can you help me understand why Scripture says, be angry and do not sin? But are you saying that getting angry at all, you cannot be a Christian? Are you
Right.
Are you saying the same thing?
Anyone, I don't care who it is, anyone who has anger is not a child of God. You can know the Bible till the cows come home. You can hoop and holler. You can speak in other tongues. You can give donations and tithes and offerings. You can feed the hunger. You can go out and pray for the sick. You're still not a child of God. Because God's nature, which was your original nature is all love all the time. And not emotional love. It's logic. It's common sense love. And it doesn't hold any grudges. It doesn't remember the past. It doesn't remember what you did to it yesterday. It doesn't think about that at all. It's just not a part of the nature. So, what was the question?
He's wanting to know why Scripture says, be angry and do not sin.
The anger that the Bible is talking about is what you call discernment. You could discern evil, meaning you see it for what it is and deal with it, but don't hate it. The moment you judge it, the moment you become angry at injustice, then you lose. But discernment is what we have. The ability to see, the ability to deal with, but not resent. That's the difference. We have discernment. And we have to have it because if we didn't see it, as Francisco said, he could see it coming and resist it. If he didn't have discernment, it will overtake him if he couldn't see it coming. So you need discernment.
Joshua Susis is saying, Jesse, is there any time anger is appropriate, and can you be angry and still logical, or is that anger clouding judgment?
That's anger clouding judgment. All angry people are illogical. Remember last week when we were talking about how men who are dating nowadays, whether young or old, are spending money on women, buying them shoes and clothes. I'm sorry about the shoes. Did you take the shoes back? No, I'm kidding. Shoes and clothes and houses and trips. And I saw a movie last night where this young white girl, pretty white girl, had dated a whole bunch of different guys. And she couldn't really find a strong guy, a good guy, right? So she finally decided to marry this little dumpy white guy who had money, fat guy who had money, right? And so his friends asked, her friend asked her, why are you marrying this guy? She's like, well, you know what? I've dated all these guys. They don't have anything. This guy has money. I might as well marry him. At least I know I have some money. And so the guy overheard it, and he called off the wedding. But when men take care of their girlfriend or girlfriends take care of men like that, that's the kind of relationship you're developing. It's a money thing. You don't get to know the person. You spoil them. And so it's not common sense to think that you could be angry and be a child of God. God is love. He said that we should love our neighbors. We should love our enemies. How are you going to love your enemy if you have anger? And we should love him with all our heart, soul, and might, along with nothing else. How are you going to do that if you have anger? You can't even trust an angry person. It could be the closest friend or the closest family member. They like you until they get angry and they change. They turn on you. Anybody ever had that happen? And you be thinking, wow, I thought you were my family member. We're supposed to be cousins. But they're turning and they can't help it because Satan is their father. You can't trust an angry person. Their hearts are wicked. All angry people have wicked hearts. That's why you must be born again. That makes sense? So let me go here. And then I want to know that anybody do the assignment that I gave last Sunday and asked you to do for 1 week. Go ahead.
Like every now and then a subject will come out, you would tell me, why haven't you let go of your anger and stuff? And inside I would think I don't have an anger. And it's not that I was in denial about it or anything, but I figured like there's always the deceiver is also in the words. So the anger you're referring to wasn't the anger I thought of. I thought of when you talk about anger is your conduct, whether you have outbursts or this and that. And I was thinking, I believed I have an anger, but I never saw it. And it wasn't because I was in denial about it. It was more like I didn't understand what you're referring to. But yeah, I did recently realize that I've always been mean.
Been mean?
Mean, yeah. And I never thought of it as anger, but that's what it is, you know. And
Yeah. That's right.
and now it's like some of the audience where they type in, how come you say the F word? How come this and that? You can sense it's like the anger, their motives, they're watching it. There's anger behind it just to catch you something. Instead of just listening and trying to learn,
Yeah.
they're tuning in to catch you slipping, kind of. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
And it's an
right.
anger spirit. I don't know if I get their questions right. It could be, or it could be they're curious, but that's also anger. You don't have to yell and scream, or your blood doesn't have to boil for you to know. That's what I used to think of anger, like your blood boiling, but just to be like mean and trying to catch somebody, trying to revenge. All of this is an
That's
anger.
a good point.
And the reason I thought I didn't have anger, because like I said, the word anger comes out of your mouth, I'm thinking something else, because I'm thinking you're referring to something else, which I don't have, but I do have. Now that I understand your use of word anger, I do have it.
Oh, okay. Right on. And you're absolutely right. He'll deceive in all kinds of ways to make you believe you don't have it. And so that's why you have to pray so you can get to know yourself and things will start to work out. All right? That's good, man. That's really deep. One thing I want you to know, and I realized something that he said, living a Christian life is not what we've been taught. It's really not. And we've been taught how to be Christians. You know, be nice, don't judge, don't, whatever. You know, don't, whatever they tell you. It's all wrong. You live in a Christian life, you live in a Christ life because you are the son or daughter of God. He is your father, so you're just living. You know, you're just living. You don't have an idea of how to live a Christian life. You're just living, and it'd be like when you were little kids and you had parents. You know, you weren't trying to live as a kid, right? You're just living. And when something happened, your parents were there to protect you and guide you or answer questions or watch out for you. Well, it's the same way when you return to the Father. You become his son or daughter, and you just live. You don't have an idea how to do it. You just live because your ways and your thoughts and your ways and your thoughts are not his ways and thoughts at all. And so a lot of people are trying to live a Christian life, and they're failing at it because there's no such thing as living a Christian life. It's like you go and join this club, and you read all these rules as to how you should act, and now you're trying to act that way. And it doesn't work. You must return to your Father and then live. It's just simple as that. Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir.
Yeah, as you were speaking, it made me realize that how anger as a sense of feeling it was always a sense of shame growing up because of the way we were taught this. So I would feel shame for it, so you would suppress that.
Yeah.
And that's what kept the anger inside me so long, that I've been depressed for so long, because I didn't know how to deal with the consequences of just living the godly life and being able to have expression versus trying to hold my expressions, live in shame, and bury the anger.
Yes, you're absolutely right, man. And when you bury that spirit inside of you, it eats you up from the inside out. It causes suicidal thoughts. It causes depression. It brings on diseases. It brings on unhappiness. It doesn't matter how much money you gain, how many friends you have. It destroys you from the inside out. And that's why it want to hide in there, so that it can destroy you. But when you bring it to the light will destroy it, and then you can live. But you gotta let it be. And even people who have anger, you shouldn't be trying to carry yourself as though you don't have anger. You know what I'm saying? You just let it be. You wanna see what's there so you can overcome it. You know, I hear a lot of people blaming the president about how things are right now. Everybody's so mad. Everybody's so divided. You got everybody upset. And they're blaming him for it. They were already like that. He didn't put that in them. The only thing he's doing, his action is bringing it out, but they already had it. It's like when couples get married and then one get mad at the other one. The first thing they say, you made me feel this way. You made me mad. No, I didn't. You were already mad. I wish I had seen it before I married you. No one is already in there. If it's not in you, no one can bring it out because it's not there. It's not his fault that everybody's mad. Yes, James.
Questions about thoughts and about emotions. Sam is asking, to what extent are you supposed to ignore your thoughts? Like, for example, having a logical thought process in order to learn or reflect on your actions.
No such thing as a logical thought process. That doesn't exist either. All thoughts are illogical. So I'm driving to the barbershop yesterday on the 405, and I said, oh, I'm going to leave my window down. I'm not going to turn the radio on, and I'm just going to watch what comes to me, what kind of thoughts I get here, right? And it was amazing. It's shocking what Satan can make you think about. And then just come out of nowhere. You think about stuff that happened 100 years ago. You think about stuff that didn't even happen that might happen. And so it just confirmed, I'm not in control of this. I'm not creating these thoughts. Because if I was in control of my thoughts, I wouldn't have nothing but good thoughts. All of them would be good. I have a lot of money. I would have a beautiful, everything would be perfect. You're not in control of your thoughts. So God said, bring every thought into captivity. Every one of them. All of them are your enemy. The good one, so-called good one and the bad one. Bring every thought into captivity. You want to live by revelation. You want to live by that quiet, still, voiceless voice. Revelation. Every thought is a lie. And they seem so true. You know, like, because they'll remind you of something that happened. You remember when you stole that money? And you think, yeah, I did steal some money. That's true. But when you stole the money, that happened then. And it's not happening now. But he'll make you feel guilty about it as though it's happening now. You know, it's a setup. So bring every thought into captivity. Don't think about tomorrow. Remember God said, don't think about tomorrow and don't think about yesterday. They don't exist anymore. Come into my presence and live now, according to God. So let every thought go. Yes.
So Sam's also asking, you're always on about don't react emotionally, but I don't think that thought always comes before emotion. And doesn't the Bible say there's a time for everything, to cry, etc.? That's emotion.
That's a very good, no, right on, Sam. How would you respond to that, James?
Well,
it's
I
too
mean,
bad
like,
I got thrown out of my gym. I had just started doing yoga because I wanted to get the belly off, and my belly had just started going down. What a mess, huh? Satan know how to do it. But anyway, go ahead.
I don't really exactly know how to answer this.
Repeat the question.
He's saying you're always on about don't react emotionally, but I don't think that thought always comes before emotion. And doesn't the Bible say there's a time to cry, etc.?
Okay.
And that's emotion.
Mark want to respond to that.
Reminds me of the time we were talking about critical thinking, and Frankie was talking about the example of getting your materials, how much do you need, this, that, and the other, and you need to think, you need to have those thoughts and those words to do that. And you said, no, you don't. You will just act logically. Those things will just naturally happen. The same thing, you're not supposed to have words, because when you have words, you're being led by Satan. So if someone dies, you're just going to cry. You're not going to think, oh, I should cry now. So is everyone looking? How many tears should I let out? You know what I mean? It's just going to happen, and you'll kind of watch it happen.
And 99.999.9% of the time, the reason you crying over the dead, there is a time to cry, though. There's a time for everything. But most of the time, when you're crying over the person that died, It's for you and not for them. They're dead. But you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to miss him. Oh, but it's for you. That person don't even care that you're crying. They probably flying around the castle wishing you'd be quiet. But it's a natural thing to just kind of do it. But the point I want to make about the thoughts and emotions, you cannot have emotions if you don't have the thoughts first. You think, you feel, and you act. You cannot have emotions if you have brought all of your thoughts into captivity. You think, you feel, and you act. You might not see the thoughts coming, it's overtaking you before you realize it. And the only thing you realize is that now you're feeling it. But if you didn't get the thought, you would not be feeling it. You think, just think about, you could think about somebody you're in love with, and you just feel so in love, right? Anybody ever felt that? Oh, I love this person. And you just feel love. You can't wait to see them. Or you could think about someone you hate, and you just feel hate for that person. You can think about fried chicken right now, and you just want some chicken. Can't wait till the meeting is over to get some chicken. You know what I mean? You think, you feel, and you act. That's why God wants you to bring every thought into captivity. Every one of them. Do not focus on any of them. Not one. There's nothing you need to be thinking on. And then you can see. God will reveal all things to you. He's your Father. He loves you. He's not going to leave you alone. He's with you always, but you got to stay away from your daddy, the devil. And you stay away from him by thoughts. Let me take here. Do you have your hand? Did I see your hand?
Yeah.
No? I'm sorry?
Yeah, a while back.
You still have a question or comment?
I'm going to let it ride.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right here then. He had his hand. Man.
I was thinking of an example, like there's people behind you writing on a board things that are bad about you that they think, or just people who talk behind you. As they're doing it, you're not crying or feeling any of it.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, you could take, you have this two ways to go. You just look at it and say, that's not, that's somebody else talking, that's this, or you take it on and that's where you feel the feelings, and that's where it comes through, and it was there. Someone was saying it before you even felt it or knew it.
That's right.
But the moment you took it in.
That's right. You need to, you want to get over your anger, right?
Yeah, the deeper anger that I don't even believe is there, that's so hard to see, yeah.
Forgive your mother.
Okay.
You need to forgive your mother for what she done to you.
Okay.
She didn't mean any harm, she was just crazy. She hate her mother, who hate her mother, who hate her mother, and so on and so on. And now that you resent your mother, if you ever get married, you're going to marry mama, and the kids are going to be messed up too.
Right.
Are you able to forgive her?
I hope so. I must. I have to.
Yeah. If you want to be free, you must forgive. Before you enter into the kingdom of heaven within, you must forgive mama.
Okay.
Will you go to her and forgive her?
What's that?
You're going to have to go to her and forgive her.
Okay.
Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
Is it scary?
A little bit.
And why?
There's some deep-seated stuff and it feels like it's two ways, so I feel I have to be enough to be able to deal with whatever she's dealing with, but not take it on, so.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, I think that she has resentment towards me as well, so it's hard to forgive someone who you feel is angry with you, because then you want to say, well, then you're not right. You have to forgive me too.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard. That's where it gets, like, because you feel like you can't let go because you feel like you're not. I don't know. I do get it. I totally understand that. I have to let that go as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I have to forgive her for, is that as well. As of whatever's in the past, I have to forgive her for the future.
You have to forgive her for resenting you.
Yeah.
Because she can't help it.
She can't.
Yeah. Just like you can't help yourself, you become like what you hate. You take on your mother's identity. And so if you can understand yourself, it will help you to understand her, and that's what will cause you to forgive her. And I want you to go to her and say, do you call a mama, a mother, a dear? What do you call your mother?
Mommy.
Mommy. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Don't call her mommy.
Okay.
That is weak to the core. I have another friend who used to call, I don't know if he still does it, who called his mama mommy. And he's like 90 years old. Mommy, that's fear within itself. Like it's like mama dearest. Don't call her mommy.
Okay.
Mommy. I'm glad you told us. And I have it on tape. So here's what I recommend for you. You go to your mother, realize she really can't help it. Do not expect her to apologize. Do not expect her to admit anything. Don't expect anything from her, all right? Because God has it set up so perfectly in that when we forgive others, He will forgive us. They don't have to say, I'm sorry. They don't have to admit to anything. The forgiveness is from God, not from them. You want to apologize for being angry because you're judgmental when you're angry. And when you're judging like that, you're being judged.
Right.
What you're putting out is coming back on you. So you want to stop playing God. And that's why you go on and say, you know what? I just want to tell you I'm sorry for being angry at you, resenting you for what you did to me. You know, I realize you couldn't help it. But, and don't expect anything from her and you can walk away free.
Right. Okay.
But don't ask her to forgive you. It's not set up that way. In the scriptures, it does not say go to someone and ask them to forgive you. It says go and forgive, and I will forgive you.
Right.
But so many people go and they say, oh, forgive me for hating you. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm going to hold on to this one then. I'm not going to forgive you. But God got it set up. He will forgive you. That makes sense?
Oh, completely, yes.
So will you do it?
Yes.
Will you let me know how it goes?
Okay.
And you're going to be afraid. Isn't that something? Grown men and women are afraid to go to their mothers and apologize for hating them. You know something's wrong with that. Afraid of mama, and mama love it, that you're afraid of her. Because she has control. That ego has control. And so that's why God has it set up. When we need to just apologize for hating, and He'll forgive us. All right? Mm-hmm. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
This is your first time? Oh, I'm sorry. This is your first time here?
Yes.
It makes sense?
It does. It's scary though.
It's scary?
Yeah.
In what way?
Because she's mean. My mom's mean.
Oh, your mother's mean.
Yeah.
And so it would be hard for you to go to her to forgive because you don't know how she's going to overreact.
Oh, I know how she's going to react.
How's she going to
She's going to be mean. She's going to be mean. She's
Yeah.
going to be, I mean, she likes it. When you said she likes being mean.
Yeah. Yeah. And she like having that control over you. That's why she's always keeping you frustrated. And she act unreasonable.
That's the part that bothers me.
Yeah, that's right. So, just as I told him, she can't help it. Satan is her father. She hate her mother. Her mother hate her mother. And now you hate your mother. And so I had to go and forgive my mother. I was 38 years old. I'm driving over to South Central LA because she was out there visiting, out here visiting. And I'm telling you, the closer I got, fear would just overtake me. And they had 3 steps to walk up. I think it's 3, 2 or 3. And I'm walking up these steps. I could barely get up the steps. I'm telling you, my whole body was scared. Oh, my mama, 38 years old. And I had been afraid of the women I dated, too. That's why I was so weak with them. And so I get in there, and right away, and she's sitting in the front room with her sister, and they're laughing and talking, having fun. And she said, don't talk to her now. You're going to mess up her vacation. But I knew I had to forgive because that was my opportunity. And God said, when I forgive others, He'll forgive me. So I brought her in the room, and I told her, you know, all my life I hated you. I resented you because you were mean. You turned me away from my father. And I realized now you couldn't help yourself. And for the first time, she told me about her life. And exactly what she had done to me was done to her. And I didn't know that. Because I thought my grandmother was an angel sent by God. But my grandmother, which was her mother, didn't treat her right. So she resented her mother. And my mother said she didn't realize she was doing that to me. But even if she had not said that, I was still going to be free from her because I knew to just forgive her. And I walked away. In all honesty, I already was free, but I had to face that fear. Once you overcome mama, you're never afraid of anybody or anything else. Isn't there something? Mama is the elephant in the room. And so once I forgave my mother, I walked away free, and I've not been the same since. I have not experienced that fear anymore. And that's what's going to happen to you. It's going to be the hardest thing you ever have to do, but it's the last hardest thing you ever have to do, because now God will take over your life, your Father, and He'll guide you.
Okay.
Will you do it?
I got to think of it. I feel like I have to get stronger.
No, that's a lie from Satan. You don't get stronger until you face the situation. You got to face the situation to get stronger. You got to deal with the world to get stronger. You don't get stronger by waiting. You got to do it, and that's what makes you stronger. It's like going to the gym. You don't get stronger by going there and thinking, you know what? When I get stronger, I'm going to lift up a 10-pound weight.
Okay.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So that's how you get stronger. You got to deal with mama.
It's the fear.
Are you married?
No.
I'm going to tell you to take your husband with you. Is this your friend?
Yeah.
Can you go with her?
Yeah, if she wanted me to, I could.
Do you live here in L.A.?
Oh, I live in the valley.
You want me to come and go with you? I deal with mama. You want me to go with you?
No.
I'm San Francisco.
I think I can. I know I can do it. I'm kind of been gearing up to it.
I'm sorry?
I've been kind of working up to it because I have the realization that why she's the way she is. I know why she's mean.
That's right.
But I kind of resent the fact that she's mean to me.
Yeah. Don't resent it anymore. Deal with it and overcome it.
Okay.
And it's going to change your world. It's going to restore your natural order of being.
I hope so.
It really will. It's mind-blowing. That's the only thing that's stopping you from living, is that unforgiveness to your mother. And once you're done with it, you don't have to deal with her anymore. And if you don't want to deal with her, you won't feel guilty about it. All the guilt is gone. And so if you ever deal with her, it will be because you just want to deal with her, not because you feel guilty of.
I don't deal with her and I don't feel guilty, but I haven't forgiven her.
Yeah, go and forgive her. It's going to bless your socks off.
Okay.
All right? And you're going to be shaking and scared and everything. Just go.
Okay.
You know.
I can do it.
Yeah. All right. Let me know how it goes.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anger?
Yes.
Take the mic.
Take the mic.
Yeah. You have anger? Who you resent?
Oh, mom and dad.
You resent both. Why do you resent your father?
Well, they're both gone, but I didn't.
They gone?
They're both gone, but
Oh.
I did not have a voice growing up. I was told to shut up,
Yeah.
literally shut up and go to my room every time I opened my mouth.
Yeah.
And my feelings didn't matter. Nothing mattered. You know, just obedience was all that mattered.
Yeah.
And so to this day, I don't speak up or defend myself or, you know, don't say what's on my mind.
Are you married?
No,
You have children?
no.
And why not?
I'm sure it has something to do with the way I was raised.
Yeah, 100%. Because you would like to be married with children, right?
I don't, I like being, I mean, I don't mind being single and independent, but yeah, I think about a family. I
Yeah.
think about, I do think about what I don't have, yeah.
Yeah. You understand now how to forgive?
I'm aware of it, and then, but the part about having zero expectations, what always stops me is they were my parents. I had expectations. Why shouldn't I? They were the
Children
ones
have
who,
that, that's right.
yeah, they brought me into this world.
Yeah. But now that you're an adult, you don't need to have that. And You know, you see how you are right now. You're nervous, you're afraid, you don't speak up, and you would like to, but you can't. Isn't that right? I'm sorry?
Yes.
Well, your mother and father the same way. They couldn't help it. You've taken on their identity. And so if they could have done better, they would have. But because they resented their parents, they didn't have the insight and the courage to do it either. They gave you what was inside of them. And it's not that they didn't love you, but they only love you in that fallen state of love. They didn't have the real love to give you, but they gave you what they had. It was the wrong love, but they gave you what they had. They meant well. They really did. And so if you can understand yourself by seeing how weak you are in life, and you don't want to be that way, it will help you to understand them that they didn't want to be that way. And that's what would cause you to forgive them even after they have died. They couldn't help it. Just as you can't help yourself. And if you can see that clearly, then God will forgive you and make you free. That makes sense?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all it takes. Just get to know yourself. It will help you to understand your parents, and that will cause you to forgive. You want to do better in life. You want to be strong. You want to speak up. You want to move about freely, but you can't. And the reason you can't because of the resentment you have that came from them, by you judging them.
Yeah.
And they couldn't help it. So if you could realize that, I also have a silent prayer that I put together. You can download it. It's called a silent prayer. I want you to start doing it. Just do it, and God will give you the insight. It will cause you, all of you, make sure you download it, no cost or anything like that. And just start doing the silent prayer, and things will start to happen for you. Because you're going to let go, and then God can take over. Will you do that for me?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Kathy.
All right. So relax, Catherine. It's a nice world out there. All right? I want you to do that, and then let me know.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So, do you resent your mother? Who you resent? Give me the mic right there.
Mostly my dad.
I'm sorry?
Mostly my dad.
You resent your father? And why?
Same reasons everybody else did. He was mean.
A little louder.
He's mean mostly.
He's mean. Did you talk to him over the past week? I can't hear you.
No.
Why not? Didn't I tell you to talk to him?
You did.
Why you didn't talk to him? Where's my belt? Why you didn't talk to your father?
We got like in an argument this week, so I just didn't think it was the right time.
Anytime the opportunity is there, it's the right time. When you're with him, that's the right time. Don't let Satan tell you that's not the right time. And do you know what to say to him or how to talk to him?
Yeah.
How?
Just tell him that I forgive him.
And tell him why you resent him. You know, be honest with him about it, and just say, you know, I realize you don't have it in you, but I didn't know that as a child. But I needed you to be a father. But now that I'm a young adult, I realize you don't have the love to give. You're doing the best that you could do, and I'm sorry for holding this against you. Your father haven't had anyone to show him love. And so by you talking to him in that manner, you're showing him love, and great things can happen from that.
I just know he's not going to see it as love. He's going to get offended.
But, huh?
I know he's not going to see it as love. He's going to get offended.
How you know?
Because I know him.
Have you ever gone to him in that way?
He kind of.
No. Have you ever gone to him in that way with the intention to not hurt him and yell at him and scream at him, to let him know you understand why he's that way and you're sorry for holding it against him?
Yeah, and he just gets offended and says, like, you know, you don't know me and I've done my best for you, blah, 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 blah.
And just say, you're right. You have done your best, and I'm sorry for holding that against you. I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. Don't expect anything, as I said to the young man, don't expect anything from him. Do not expect him to apologize or anything. You forgive him, show him love by forgiving him, and God will forgive you. He doesn't see right now. What you're saying is true, and I believe you. He doesn't see right now, so he's giving you all he has to give. He's in denial. He believes what he believes. It's not right or not true what he believes, but he can't help it. If you don't forgive him, you're going to destroy your relationship with your boyfriend. You're going to destroy your relationship with your boyfriend. because you don't have love inside of you until you can love your Father. You're not going to be able to return to God until you can love your earthly father. No man get to the Father unless he go through the Son. And your Father represents God. He's the Christ on earth. A bad representation, but he still represents him.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So I want you to do it. You're too pretty. You're too young. Don't waste any time. You could be having a good life out there, a free life. You got a good boyfriend. Is he a good guy?
Yeah.
What's good about him?
That's like a hard question because it's like
I can't
everything.
hear
I don't
you.
know where to start. Huh?
How about at the beginning?
He's a good listener.
Yeah.
He's there for me. He's funny.
He's funny?
Mm-hmm.
I thought so. I could tell by that hat. And so you're fortunate. You have a good, and you're a young girl too, you know, you have a young lady. You have a good young man. You're fortunate. So take advantage of it by forgiving your father. All right? And then come next Sunday and let me know what happened. And if you want to bring him in for counseling, I can counsel with the both of you as well.
I'd like to. I mean, I doubt. I'll ask him, but I doubt he'll come.
Ask him. But you should be. Can you go with her and help her deal with her father? You know her father?
Yes, sir.
Can he come with you?
Yeah.
Okay, take him with you.
If my dad allows it.
Does he like your boyfriend?
It's not that he doesn't like him. He thinks he's not good for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
He think he's not good for you?
Yeah, but I
And
don't.
he's mad at it's not treating you well?
I think he's kind of jealous, to be honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, every male who has anger is a woman. So he would be jealous. It's abnormal. It's abnormal for men to be in that state. Every man. Did you know you were a woman?
I probably believe that.
Every man. It's not normal. It's not natural for a man to have anger. It's an abnormal state of being. It really is. A man is solid. He's of love. He set the example. He point the way. He's not jealous or envious. He doesn't need body-to-body love. He doesn't need all that stuff. But in his fallen state, he does. So that's why he must be born again. Let me end. I got to end, then I come to you. We're out of time already. Let me see. My announcement. I still didn't. Who remember the assignment for last week, from Sunday to Sunday? Just what? Oh, you remember? What was the assignment?
To observe yourself without judgment. Just observe your
Without
being.
any opinion at all, right?
Without
Did you
any
do
opinion. I tried.
And it didn't work?
No, I mean, I did it to the best that I could do it. It was interesting for sure.
In what way?
I just noticed a lot of them, like sort of just emotions and kind of different states of being that came and went, and you know, sometimes happiness, sometimes sadness, just a lot of different things.
And did you judge it?
Little bit at times, and then sometimes I just came out of it and just saw it for what it was.
Yeah. You say you did it too?
No, you said assignment. I thought of the question about those who have will
Oh,
have
no, that's
more.
not the assignment. Take that mic back. Go to the back of the room. That's not the assignment. But so here, I'll give it to you one more week. I'm telling you this, and this is the truth. If you don't get to know yourself, you're never going to know God. You're never going to have the wisdom and insight. The beginning of salvation is to know thyself. You got, without judgment, you got to be able to look at everything that goes on in your mind and the way you feel without having an opinion about it. You got to be able to just, you want to become a living being. So you got to be able to just see it without having an opinion. Don't play God with what you see in yourself. That's the beginning. And you're not going to like what you see because ain't no good in you. I have no good in me. And I'm okay with seeing that. Before I was able to see, I didn't want to see that I was no good. It was nice to see that everybody else was no good, but I didn't want to see it in myself. But now that I can see it in myself, because God said no man is good, and there's no good in you. and you got to face it without having an opinion about it, then you can be free. Wisdom will start to come. Freedom will come. All right? So, announcements. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. What are the announcements? Help me, Ernest. Come here.
We have a Patreon for the Fallen State.
Oh, give him a mic.
We have a Patreon for Fallen State, the Fallen State. It's basically crowdfunding.
Huh? We need the mic here. Hurry. Because we're totally over.
We need your help financially, so we launched a Patreon crowdfunding campaign.
That's Ermias.
So you can help us if you like Jesse's show, you like what he's
Jeremiah's
doing.
daddy.
Are you done?
I'm done.
You can fund us by going to patreon.com, The Fallen State, and donate to us. You can do reoccurring donations, one-time donation. We also take donations via PayPal, so we don't take any government funds, and we're basically everything that we do for Jesse's TV show, the staff, the equipment, all that stuff, we're paying for it on our own, and there's a lot of stuff that we need to enhance the show and improve it. So if you guys could donate to that, that would be outstanding.
Would you please spell Patreon?
Sure. You can just go to jesseleepeterson.com. I'm sorry, go to thefallenstate.tv, and the link is there. Patreon is Patreon, patreon.com.
I was scared when she asked you to spell.
I know.
You never, ever ask a black person to spell in public.
Let me see.
I got nervous.
What else?
I'm like, Lord, why she had to ask that question?
Jesse now has a show on Newsmax TV every day, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. So you can go to newsmaxtv.com or go to jesseleepeterson.com to tune in.
We're in over 40 million homes. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So check it out.
Cool.
And this is third Thursday?
Is this fourth Thursday?
Yes.
Women's meeting.
We are having our women's forum this Thursday, 7 p.m. Ladies, we have a women's forum every Thursday night for ladies only. You want to be here. I mean, every third Thursday night. And for men, every first Thursday night at 7 o'clock. All right? So we need your support. We need your donations. We need your help. Be sure to help us. And I'm going to keep you updated as to what happens next with my gym, Equinox. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to consult someone next week or this week, and I'll let you know. All right? Tune into the radio show. And thank you for tuning in. And thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.